Okay, so welcome back once again, guys. Now, in this lecture, I'll be talking about Pinecone. So, how we can try to perform this insert operation, update operation, search operation with respect to the Pinecone vector database. So, let me share my screen and let's get started. So, first of all, Pinecone is a managed database. So, you can try to go to Google and you can try to search for Pinecone, by the way. So, Pinecone login or Pinecone, you can try to search and then you will be able to get into this particular page from where you can try to log in a vector database for a scale in production. So they are managing the entire database and you can just try to access this database and it's online, so you can try to insert the record as per your own will or as per your own need. So first of all, I have to do a login and you can try to log in it without even adding the card. So you can just go ahead with the like a Google login over here. Now, once you are going to log in, the very first thing that you need is a API key. So just click on API key, create a API key, and then maybe you can try to give a API key name. So I'm going to give API key test1. So here it is going to create my API key, which is important and which is required. So just try to copy this API key, keep it somewhere. Yeah, keep it somewhere. So here I'm going to create a new file called as pinecone.ipynb, and inside this I'm going to keep my API key. Simple. Again, anyhow, I'm going to deactivate this API key after like a lecture. So here I'm just trying to keep the API key. Very simple. Yeah. Now, so once I'm able to get this API key, close it. You don't have to do anything, by the way. Database wise, so there is a database which has been created. So one index which has been created. Now I can try to create another index if I want. Yeah. So I can try to create another indexes, and as per my own configuration, so I can try to customize this entire things which like indexes basically, right? So I can try to customize this entire things as per my own need. So here, let's suppose if I'm going to create my own new indexes, so I can try to give over here that Sudhanshu and info, right? So this is the canonical content Sudhanshu info. Yeah. So this is the index name which I'm going to create. Vector type, so let's keep it dense. Interdimension, so 1536, this is the dimension. Matrix, cosine, Euclidean or dot product, anything I can try to keep. I think I have already discussed about that in my like a theoretical lecture. So for the similarity search. Now serverless, okay, so AWS, fine. Now reason Virginia, this one, and then create indexes. So just click on create the indexes. So fine, it will start creating my indexes as you can see, right? So after creating the indexes, so we have to go for the next part. And so it's very easy to use it, guys, by the way. So everything is online. You don't have to do any kind of a local installation. So as simple as that, you just have to install the client and then kick off. And even over here inside this example, so I'm going to use URI embeddings, by the way. Yeah, so I'm going to use a URI embeddings, and with respect to that URI embeddings, I'm going to show you the entire operation. So index initialization, your index will be ready momentarily. Okay, that's cool. Okay, so it's initializing, and I already have this another index which I have created. So maybe I can try to connect with that. So here I can try to click on connect, and then the very first thing that you have to do is pip install Pinecone. So you have to install a Pinecone client, and then you can start, doing back to back all sort of operation that you are looking for. So let me do that. So I'll go here. I'll try to do like a pip install Pinecone, and yeah, so requirement already satisfied. So I have already installed a Pinecone, and then what I can do, I can try to copy this initialization command, and here, so I can try to provide my own API key. So API key which I have already saved, so I can try to copy this Pinecone API key. If not, I can try to create a new API key. That's completely fine. And then my index name is quick start, right? So this is the index which I am trying to connect, quick start, right? Okay. Similarly, I can try to create any number of indexes. As you can see, the Anshu info indexes I'm trying to create, and I can try to even insert the data with that. Now the problem with this index is dimension of this index is only 2, and I will not be able to insert a data into this particular index with dimension is equals to 2, because my data dimension is going to be 1536, because I'm going to use a URI embedding API, and out of that I will be able to get a dimension 1536. That's the reason, so I have created this one. Maybe I don't have any option. I don't see any option in terms of, changing the configuration. So I have to wait for my own indexes to be up and running. So it is taking a lot of time to initialize, by the way. And once this initialization is going to be done, I just have to change my index name, and bingo, I will be able to connect. And after connecting, so I will be able to start using that particular indexes, and it will take some time. So just wait for some time, guys. I'm waiting since last like a 10 minute of time. Yeah. Okay, so now this index is created, and I can try to insert a data into this one. So fine, guys, let's get started. So here I can try to call connect, and pip install Pinecone. I have already done that. So here what we have to do, we have to just replace this quick start with a Sudhanshu info, because that was my index name, right? So that was my index name. So here pinecone.index, and I'm going to replace it with my name. So connect, and it looks like it is able to connect. So IP proc is not found. Please update the Jupyter this. Okay, so let me just check index. So yeah, it is able to create a Pinecone indexes. So hopefully I will be able to insert all the information, and then eventually I will be able to do all the other processes. So here let's start doing it. And what I will do is that I will try to take my data. So the same data which I was taking since my last 2 chapters. So this is the textual information, and I will try to convert this entire data into a embedding. So here I can try to write like a for I in this text basically. So just go through this entire textual information, and then on top of this call my generate embeddings. So generate embeddings is going to come from where? So it is going to come from basically a URI, right? It is going to come from a URI. So here I can try to go into a code example, Pythonic based, and from here, so this is the embeddings, and I have been using it since my last 2 classes. So it's nothing new, I believe, if you have watched that previous lecture. So this is my function. So here I'm going to pass my API key. Now my API key is going to be inside the authentication tab. So I can try to copy this API key for generating the embeddings, and I'm going to replace this particular portion with a API key. This is static one with my API key. Okay, that's clean and good, done. Now, so for I in text, I'm just iterating through my textual information, this information one by one. I have a 10 records, and then here, so I'm going to call my generate embeddings, and one by one I will pass my I, and it is going to generate a embeddings for me. Okay, so it will take some time, maybe a couple of seconds, 10-12 seconds it is going to take, and it's just a one-time process, so that it will be able to generate the embeddings for me. Okay, that's cool. So I'm able to generate a embeddings for my data set. Here is a entire embeddings which I'm able to find out. Now what I can do, I can try to insert this record inside my Pinecone. The Pinecone instance that I have created, the Pinecone index that I have created. So inside this index, I can try to add a record. I can even try to add a record with the help of UI, but I don't want that basically. So what I want is that I would like to add a record from a Python code with the help of Python programming. So I would like to insert the record. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's try to insert a record. So here to insert a record, right? To insert a record, so we can try to call index that we have created dot upsert. There is a function called as upsert. Yeah. So upsert, and here, so I can try to give a vectors is a parameter, and then I can try to pass the indexes over here. So indexes wise, it is going. So I can try to pass basically a records over here, and record wise, it is going to take a text as well as its embeddings and numbers. Maybe this is something which I would like to insert inside this one. So I'm just going to show you with respect to one single example, and then I'm going to show you that how I can try to insert it in a bulk, all the 10 record at a time, how I can try to insert it. So here, record wise, I can try to take a list, and inside this particular list, I can try to maybe give a record 0, and then I can try to pass a text. So text is nothing but text of 0, and here, so embedding wise, embedding of 0. So this is the information I would like to insert, and let's see so whether I will be able to insert this information or not. So it is giving me a error saying that expected a list or list like data structure, but got this. Okay, so it is expecting some different format. Let me correct this format, by the way. So here, list or list like, this is what it said, by the way. So let me rectify it. Invalid type variable id, required value type is string, and pass type was int at id. Okay, so let me keep it this one as a string over here. Invalid type variable 0, required value type float, and pass type was string at value. Okay, so let me rectify this entire error inside this one so that I can insert the record inside my Pinecone. Okay, so let me correct it from the scratch, guys. There was a mistake in terms of a format which I was making. So I have taken a reference of a Pinecone documentation itself. So here, index, I can write dot upsert, and I can try to upsert a data. So where vectors, right? So vector I can try to pass, and a vector as a list I can try to pass, where I can try to give an ID as a string. So this is my ID. Now embeddings, so the very first one, and then to list. So this is something which I am going to give, and the text information, which is nothing but a meta, let's suppose. So here, text is nothing but texts at 0th location. So this is going to be my key, and text at 0th location is going to be my value. So this is the record I would like to insert, only one record at a time as of now. Yeah, and still it is giving me an error, invalid vector value passed, can't interpret the type class string. Okay, so let me check what is the actual issue. Actually, this should work. Okay, so just there is a list, right? So it is considering all 3 items as a separate item. Let me make it one. So yeah, inside this list, I'm trying to pass this entire item and then execute it, and now it's working. So upsorted count is equals to 1. Now if I'll go and if I'll try to check over here that whether we have some sort of a record or not. So I must be able to find out some record after the insertion. So upsorted count is equal to 1. Now let's go to Pinecone, and let me refresh it, and here, so I'm able to find out one record. So Anshu Kumar was born in Jamshedpur, Jharkhand, India, to the modest family, and yes, so this is one of the record on ID 0. It is able to insert. Very simple one, right? Very simple one. And if I would like to edit this record, this is the an entire vector of dimension 1536. It is able to store. And if I would like to edit it, I can try to edit it. If I would like to add more meta information over here, I can try to add those information as well. So successfully, I am able to insert my very first record inside a Pinecone. Okay, that's cool. Now let's try to insert an entire record in a bulk. Yeah, so let's try to insert the entire record into a bulk. And then I will be doing a search operation on top of the exact same thing, one by one. We are going to perform this entire operation. So here, let me write a code. So let me prepare a complete record, records, records. So record is going to be the empty list. And here, so what I will do, so I'll try to prepare my record as per the data which Pinecone is expecting. So here I can try to write for I in, so I, and then like I can write basically text and embeddings in enumerate what? So enumerate and zip this. So first of all, zip this data. So text comma embeddings. So zip means, I think we all know, one-to-one mapping it is going to perform, and zip it together. And then enumerate means it is going to give you the numbers. It is going to give you the indexes to each and every information. This is what it's trying to do. So now if you would like to print this information, you can try to print it. It is going to print the ID, it is going to print the text, and it is going to print the embeddings. Now, so here records, the empty list that I have created, dot append I can try to call, and what I am going to append, by the way. So I'm going to append basically this information. So I'm going to append a record number. So here record number, maybe I can try to create in a dynamic manner. So here rec underscore and then I underscore and then placeholder I. So this is going to be my record number. Now embed emb dot to list. So pass that as a list, and then text, pass that as a text. So whatever text that we are getting from here, just try to pass. So this is the format of the data which I have prepared. So that will be available inside the record. And this is the record which I will be inserting. So now if I would like to show you if I have to show the record, this is how my record looks like. So inside this, there will be a number, there will be a embeddings, and there will be a text which will be available. Yeah. So this will be available inside the record for everything. Now I can simply call index dot upsert over here. And in one single go, I can try to insert it. So insert what? Records in one single go, right? So as you can see, it is inserting one by one. Now if I'll go and check over here, so it must have inserted this time a multiple record, not just one single record. See, it has inserted all the record for me. And if you will go and check any of this record, right? So like in this embeddings are available inside this particular record. Yeah. So embeddings are available inside this particular record. You will be able to check each and everything. Metadata you will be able to check. You will be able to check values. You will be able to check the IDs that I have given. So each and everything you will be able to check. If you would like to edit the record, you can try to edit the record as well. Okay, so that's cool. I'm able to finally insert a record inside the Pinecone. Very, very easy, right? Now, so after inserting a record, let's suppose if I have to query it, if I have to find out some of the information, how I can do that? Let's try to understand. So here, if I have to check the index stats, so I can try to call maybe a index, and then I can try to call basically describe index stats. This is the inbuilt function, and this is going to give you the description. So dimension is equals to 1536. Index fullness is equal to 0.0. Matrix similarity matrix is going to be the cosine similarity matrices. It is going to take total vector count is 11. So total record is equal to 11. Vector type is equal to dense, not a sparse one. Okay. Now, so if I would like to fetch some of the information, so index dot fetch, I can try to write. I can try to pass maybe IDs, and based on the IDs, I can try to fetch the entire information. So here, if I'm going to say that, okay, so try to give me maybe ID record 3, right? So it is going to fetch an information with respect to record 3, if it is available. Simple, right? If it is available, so it is going to fetch it. Now let's suppose if I have to check the similarity search, and based on the similarity search, I have to fetch the information the way we were doing it with respect to all the other vector DB. So I can do that as well. So maybe I can try to create a query text. So query text is Sudhanshu has worked in Wipro, right? Let's suppose I'm going to write this query, and with respect to this query, I would like to fetch all the similar kind of a data. So first of all, I have to convert this entire query into an embedding. So I can try to call my generate embeddings, and whatever output that I will get, I can convert that to a list. So which is a compatible format, and this is eventually going to give me query embedding. Yeah. So let's do it. Query, what is the issue? So query embedding, here I'm trying to give a query. Yeah, so embedding, return embeddings. This looks good to me. There should not be any kind of a issue, by the way. So generate embeddings, and yeah, so it's a function as it is. Why it is giving me an error? Okay, so it was giving me an issue because my API key got expired. So I have reached the daily token limit. I have just changed it and now it's working fine. That's working fine for me. So yeah, so here query embeddings I am able to generate and I have a query. So let me call it query, and this is my query, query query embedding. So this is my query embedding. So both I am able to get. Now what is next? So now once I have this two, once I have like a query, and if once I have the query embeddings, now what I can do is that I can try to call the search operation. So here index I can try to call, and index dot I can try to call a query, right? Because we are trying to do everything with respect to the indexes. So just try to call index dot query and try to pass all the information. So vector wise it's a query embeddings. This is the vector I will try to pass, top k. So top k wise, so give me top 2 result. And then there is a parameter called as include metadata. I can try to make it true, so that it will be able to even give me the metadata. Now it is trying to perform the search operation, and as you can see, it has given me two records. Record number 4 score is this much, and record number 3 score is this much. Simple, right? So this is a two information, and record number 4, which is the first one, looks promising to me, as it is trying to give me he worked at Wipro, Deloitte, Verizon Labs, and Ernst & Young. My query was what? My query was basically Sudhanshu has worked in Wipro, and yeah, with respect to that, it is able to give me the final record. So beautifully, it is able to give me the record, as we all can see, right? As we all can see. And again, just like that, so we can try to query, we can try to update metadata, meta information, and we can try to delete this. Anything that I want and everything that I want, I will be able to do, because these are the inbuilt functions. So with that, hope all of you are able to understand the Pinecone. It's nothing different. It's very, very easy. Log in, create a API key, and then try to create indexes. And with respect to that indexes, do whatever you want. So with that, thank you so much, everyone. Take care and see you again in my next lecture.